Hello, everyone. My name is Jane Mark, and I'm the president of Jam Marketing Inc. And today we're going to do something quite a little bit of a departure of what we usually do when I do webinars, where we go over all of the or one part of a site and really dig into it. We'll do that again on our next webinar. But somebody asked me some questions last week, and it really got me to thinking about what you need to know if you're going to build a business online. And you do need to know some of the rules of the road. And for me, there's really one rule of marketing that comes, there are a lot of them, and we're going to go over a number of them today, but there's one that stands out above any other that I can think of. So, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about a number of rules, 10 rules of marketing, but I'm going to try to get the answer from you first about what you think is the number one rule of marketing. So, before we begin, we're going to talk about the number one rule of marketing. And I'm going to begin it like this. You know what? You know how Shakespeare said, all of the world is a stage and all of the men and women merely players. I'm giving you a little hint. It's not a big hint, but it's a little hint. So before I tell you what, excuse me, I'm getting a little bit of a cold, but before I tell you what I think is the number one rule of marketing, give me some of your ideas. What I'd like you to do is just type into the chat box, what do you think? And think about what you do, how you run your business online. What is the number one thing that you need to do in order to start a successful business online and to make that business successful? The number one rule. Don't be shy. Shoot some answers up. There's no really right one or wrong one. I'm sure you may have just as good an idea of what that is as I do. Give me some answers, Phil. Build a list. Yeah. Persistence. Good answers. Offer something of value that the customer needs. Who's giving you these answers? They're very good. Maureen, Ed, Nancy, good. Debbie was build a list. Great answers. Integrity. Oh, I love that one. Who said that? Joan. Absolutely, you need integrity. Consistency. Good answers. Okay, so those were all very good answers, guys. They really were. And in fact, some of them are on my rules that are coming. Here's what I think is the first thing that you need to do when you start marketing online or any business that you're in. It could be offline too. You need to know your product inside and out. And I find so many people, they, especially like they come to us for support. What do you think I should do with this site or that site? What's the best tool to use, and that kind of question. And when I ask them what's the main point about their site, sometimes they can't answer that question. What made you excited? What made you buy it? Why do you like it? Because if they can tell me that, then I know where to steer somebody in order to give them the information they need. So it's kind of like, excuse me, I think about it like this. You go out to buy a house, right? And you hire a broker and you tell the broker what you want. And, he listens and says, yada, yada, okay, what? And then he takes you to the house. You would hope that he knows before he takes you and that he can tell you how many bedrooms the house has, how many bathrooms does it have, what kind of condition is it in, is the backyard big or small, or can you have a dog there if it's an apartment, is it fenced in, And of course, in the end, you want to know how much does it cost? All of those things. If your broker said to you, well, I don't really know, let's just go see the house, I don't think I would get in my car and waste my gas, right? Because you want to know before you buy a house, or even before you go and waste your time, you want to know all about it, what it does. And if I was a broker, which by the way, I have been a real estate broker for many years, and if I was going to try to sell somebody a house, I better know what that house is all about and what its good features are and even what its bad features are before I even take them to the house. It's no different with a website or a product that you're selling. If you don't know your product and what it can do and how much it costs, you will not be able to sell it effectively to anybody else because they're going to ask you questions. And if you don't know the answers, they're going to say, well, hey, what kind of a website is somebody trying to sell me if they don't know the answers? Excuse me, I'm taking a drink of water because I warned you all I'm getting a cold. So if you hear me just drinking, I'm trying to stave off the cold here. It's not gin, I can assure you. So, the number one rule of marketing is to know your site inside, outside, upside down. How much it costs? What's the commissions? How much money can you make from it? What is the product? What does it do? How do you use the product? How much does it cost? How much can you earn if you promote it? Who is your targeted audience for that product? And how do you convince people to buy it from you? I assure you that if you know your site, you don't have to be a fabulous copywriter. You don't have to have the best email ads in the world. You don't even have to have the best banners or text ads. If you can communicate your enthusiasm about a site that you're promoting, it is much more likely that you will be able to sell that site to somebody than if you just kind of somebody told you, oh, get in this site, everybody makes money at it, you'll do great, but you don't really know what it does, how it works, or how to sell it. So to me, that's the number one rule of marketing. But you guys, Phil, you want to put up the follow along? You guys were right in many, many other areas about what the other rules of marketing are that you really need to know if you're going to be successful online. So I call number two, the marketing rule number two is the capture page rule. So when you promote, I see this all the time on my list, right? Because many of you belong to our lists and you use them for your own promotions, which is what they're designed for. But rather than send out a capture page, you are sending people in some cases directly to the site and you don't capture their email address. If you don't have it's, now I'm going to backtrack for a minute because we send out solo ads to our list. We do a lot of done for you products and Phil writes great ads and then I take his ads and I make them smaller and one for Twitter thing and a cool post. And one of the parts that we do is we send out a mailing of all the ads that we've done to our list. But that's once because nobody can absolutely run your business for you forever. So we get people set up with great ads and a great banner and blog posts and all sorts of things. And then we run the ad to our list and people get some response, but you can't expect to run an ad to somebody's list, anybody's list that's not your own, and get a response immediately. It just doesn't work that way. You need to send them a capture page and hope that even when you're sending to other people's lists. Maybe you'll get 2, 3, 1 sign up. If you get one sign up from one mailing to a medium sized list because you sent out a capture page, that can be a client of yours for life. But if you just send an ad out and you get no response, right? And people say, oh, I got no response. Well, you can't just send out an ad once to somebody else's list where the person doesn't know you and expect a result. But you will do much better if you send out a capture page. Now, Phil, do you have the follow along link up? Oh, okay. Let me put up the follow along link because Pete, can you get the follow along link? And no, in my sorry guys, Phil's helping me out with something here. Just it's in my mouse. You just need to put it up on. Just click. It's there. Ah, okay. Oops. Wait, that's the link that you gave me. It's not. Okay, hang on. Okay, Phil gave me the wrong follow along link, so. Oh, it's the mystery follow along link. I'm sure you can see it on if you click on Phil's computer, but I don't understand it. I saw it today. I actually know this follow along link. Is it it's is it right? Oh, okay. You got it backwards? Okay. We're doing a backwards webinar again while we get this follow along link up on my computer. There we go. Okay. So we're going on to we're talking about capture pages. And I just want to show you a couple. If you don't belong to On Your List, which is a capture page site, you can see some examples that I did. I make capture pages up all the time. But you don't even have to do your own capture pages. You can go to On Your List and create capture pages. And what I'd like to do, watch, let's take the first one, walk in the park. We'll just open that up for a second. Where if you do create your own capture page, because if you're using someone else's, you can't really change it. But if you're making your own capture page, what you want to do is make it a teaser. You don't really want to tell them what the site is because there may be a million other people promoting that site. It's kind of like a movie trailer, where you give people just enough to say, oh, I think I'd like to know more. And so you make something up. I mean, obviously it has to do with the site, but here you can see making money online is just a walk in the park. It doesn't tell you what the site is. It's your wealth creation system, right? This is a fully automated wealth creation system, easy as pie to use. Find out more below. Okay, so what am I doing now? I'm just trying to tease people to let them to give so that they give me their name and their email. And once they click that, and I tell them a little bit more about it down below, but you notice not once in this capture page have I said what the site is. And the reason for that is maybe somebody's seen the site, so they're not going to join through my link, or maybe they're not going to be interested in the site, this particular site that I'm promoting. But if I have their name and email address, I then can start a conversation with them through a mailer and I can tell them about this site, which in this case happens to be on your list, but it could be any site that you do this kind of thing for. And I have them on a list. I can talk to them about what I'm promoting. And instead of trying to mail out something once to somebody else's list, I am now doing what any marketer has to do, which is I am building my own list so I can have an ongoing conversation with my list members. Now, there's more than one way to do capture pages, right? Because maybe you are not good at setting them up yourself. Although Phil created On Your List, by the way, for me because I am a tech idiot. So I needed something really, really simple. And this is literally, you can create capture pages that On Your List like this um, in 60 seconds. And by the way, this one capture page, and I kid you not, has brought me 9,000 list members on this one capture page and about almost $400,000 in sales. So, I mean, that's over a period of time. But even so, imagine if you can do that with one capture page, what you can do if you make a number of them. You can make a lot of money because you are building a list. So now let's suppose that you don't have your own capture page, right? So we're coming to what Phil is calling, I love this name, marketing rule 3. It's called the ethical thief, because behind everything that you do when you use advertising tools, I mean, remember, you buy into advertising tools, you buy text ads, or you buy banner ads, or you buy solo ads. You have to advertise, because without advertising, you're going to die. But you're spending your hard-earned money. You want to make it count. So what your goal is, every advertising piece of advertising that you put up on the net is designed to do one thing. It's designed to get people on your own list. So let's say you don't want to create your own capture page, but so what you do is you find other sites that have two criteria other advertising sites I'm talking about now, but even sites, any site that you promote, it should give you a capture page. Let me see if I can close this. Phil, where do I close this on the follow along link? Because, oh, I lost the follow along link. Sorry, guys. Wait, we'll get it back up because I want to show you the next one. Anyway, as Phil is getting it back to me, see, this is in my way, and so I don't know how to. That's not the follow along. That's the other one. 1 minute. What? Yeah. I just need to put the link up again. Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay, so let me go back down to where we were. I was showing you capture pages that you could make it on your list. But let's say that you don't want to make your own capture page. So you should look for sites, advertising sites particularly, that give you capture pages. And a capture page is not enough, because let's take Profit from Free Ads, which is one of my favorite sites. Okay. Okay, so this is a capture page for Profit from Free Ads, right? And it's a intriguing capture page because it says register now, collect 70,000 free advertising credits. And it's very simple for people to sign up. They give you your name, their name and their email address. And if they want to read a very short synopsis about the site, it's here. So this is ready made for you. because you didn't have to set it up. We set it up, or any good site. It's not just our sites that should give you a capture page, it's any site. But if there's no way to mail your signups, then you actually really don't want to use anybody else's capture page. Because if you'll notice, if you're a member of Profit from Free Ads, which is one of our sites, that you can mail, there's an admin mailer right in the members area, and you can use it every 2 days to reach your list members. So now you have a valuable tool, because Profit from Free Ads, for example, is a solo ad mailer. You can put up banners, you can put up text ads. And suppose somebody you're working with says, where do I go to get good advertising? So you send them here, they get on your list because you're giving them a capture page, and you can mail them every 2 days. So you've accomplished the goal of getting people on your own list where you can talk to them. So now, Phil, so that I don't lose this, do I just use the back button to get to the follow along page? No, this is Profit from. Okay. Okay. So front page mail, which is another one of ours, same kind of thing. You've got a capture page. You can capture somebody's name and email address, and you get them on a list. And in the members area of front page mail is an admin mailer, also a solo ad mailer, but we're not talking about solo ad mailers now. We're talking about building your own list by using advertising tools where, at least if somebody signs up under you, you get to talk to them over and over again about your own product. So what you're doing there is stealing. If you're using our list, for example, you're stealing our list members in one sense, but it's an ethical steal. That's what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be stealing our list members by using capture pages. I can't say it enough times. By the way, I read almost all of your emails that you guys send out, especially if I like the subject line. I open them, I take a quick look, and if there's no capture page in there, I just shake my head saying, this is such a waste of time. I'm not talking about my time now, I'm talking about your time, because if somebody liked and wanted to join your product and you don't have a capture page, and they have lots of questions, which most people have questions about a site, or they should, then you've lost a chance to. Now, I don't know if Tony's here, but there's somebody on our list who is so great. He's building his own list, and he's very persistent. He completely uses our list to get people on his own list, and I really admire it. Is Tony here today? I know he was registered, but I don't know if he's here. Anyway, he is really good at this, and you should be following his lead every day. He uses all of our solo ad mailers, and we have a lot of them, to promote his own list. And I use his list, by the way. So it's really, it's great. It's good for me. It's good for him. And, but he's very persistent, and you guys should be exactly the same. You should be, every time you mail, your objective should be to get somebody on your own list. And that can be to your autoresponder. It could be to a site that has its own mailer so you can reach your signups. Whatever way you want to do it is fine. But make sure you're getting somebody on a list when you mail. The idea is not to make a sale right away, because people want to get to know you first, and to like you, and to trust you, and to ask you questions about your product. And just get them on a list. I promise you that is the best way for you to start to build your business online. Okay, so now You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. That's, of course, a very old saying, but it's really true. You want to make sure that when you're using your capture page to build a list, that you get that capture page out in many, many different ways. The most effective way, in my opinion, is solo ad mailings. So to me, that's number one on the list. So you want to send them out on lots of different lists. Targeted traffic is also important. Social posting, meaning you want to put it up on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and whatever other social media platforms you belong to. Now, I'm just going to give you one word of caution here. I don't think it's a great idea. You may disagree with me to use your social media both for business and, to put your family pictures up or talk to Uncle Joe or whatever it is. I really think that you should I use my Facebook page, for example, solely for business. And then I have other ways to contact my family, my friends, whatever. That's up to you, but I'm not sure. And people disagree with me. You may not agree with this, but I don't like to mix the two, the personal and the social and the business posting. So that's really just your own personal choice. Video marketing, of course, if you're good at it. This is Phil's. He put this 5 in. What can you explain to me so I can explain to people? I'm going to give you the microphone for a minute.
Yeah, the next one. Hi, everybody. It's Phil here. The next one is one that I thought up as I was preparing this page for Jane. Is that Brandable PDFs? A lot of people don't actually use Brandable PDFs, and by Brandable PDFs I mean you draft up let's say you're drafting up a report on marketing. There will be links within that report that you're doing. Sometimes you can get a big audience to sign up under a capture page if you give them a way to be able to brand that PDF with their own affiliate link and then send it out themselves. That way, not only are you building a list, but you're giving them the opportunity to build a list at the same time. It's a really, really fascinating way to do it, but you've got to be, you've got to be able to write well. You've got to be able to put in, coherent sentences and stuff like that, which most of you probably can do because I know you're pretty smart on our list. But this is one of the things that you can do that can really generate some viral traffic.
And you know who's really good at doing that? Phil. So if you're interested and you have a report, let's say that you wrote on something, he can probably give you some tips on how you can make it brandable because it really is a good idea. Do we have that at $100 bill where you can brand the report from zero to hero?
I think we do. We also have one on profit from free ads.
You can brand a report on profit from free ads?
I think so.
Oh, Phil's telling you things I don't even know. This is great. Okay, blogs. I have been so afraid of blogs until we set up such easy blogs on our site, socool.com, on profit from free ads. And you can use those two blogs. And again, Phil develops things for me because I'm like the class idiot in terms of technology. So there are blogs that you can use that you can just make these unique links that you can, post an article on a blog like it's so cool or profit from free ads. It generates a unique link that you can use all over the net in any promotion. And it's very easy to do. Plus, you can brand that blog. You can set it up. You can customize it is what I mean, not brand. You set up your own top with your own name, and you can put your own banners on it. If you don't know the blog, it's so cool and profit from free ads. Take a look. And by the way, at the bottom, you'll see all these links I'm mentioning are all listed at the bottom of the follow along links. So you can find them. Don't worry if you're not familiar with them. Okay, so we know about solo ad mailings. To me, the all of our lists are good. I mean, we have a mailer in almost every one of our sites, but I love the mailer at Profit from Free Ads. It is just really responsive. It's a very responsive mailer. And the same thing is true at Front Page Mail. Those are my two favorites. But we have lists at Etsy. Matt, you probably don't even know this. Some of our, that we have a solo ad mailer at Etsy links at Oodles of Traffic. We have one at More Visitors Now and Why Not Join Me. You should, if nothing else, you should join these lists and get to know them because they are very responsive lists. Because I don't want to make this a webinar on those sites because you can see the training on them, but they all interlock so that when you send out a mailing, for example, on Profit from Free Ads, it's not just it's not a mailing that just goes and disappears after a day. It goes onto the ad profit pages at Front Page Mail and at Etsy links and at Oot and at there's one other that are linked. Oh, that goes on Sockwall. It's so cool. In other words, your one email can stay around, hang on at our sites and get traffic to them literally for years. Now, they do get pushed off the front page after a while, but even so, they will turn up in rotation at various times. And from one solo ad mailing, you may not even get a response from it on the day you mail it, but you can, like, 2 weeks could go by, and because somebody is seeing it on one of our traffic pages, you can get a response, a sign up, or even a sale, hopefully, from one email. So you should, and this one is my favorite. I know I'm not supposed to have favorites among my site children, but I do. And that's one. Okay, for traffic, which is targeted, you can go to Never Ending Traffic for You. That's a wonderful site. So Cool has the social posting where you can reach really 1.4 million people every day by doing a posting. And the nice thing about So Cool is it has the blog that I was talking about that generates this unique link for you, which you can use all over the net. It has the social posting and it has a solo ad mailer where, depending on your membership level, you can mail to 6 or 7,000 people every day. So you should check that out because most people don't know that it has a solo ad mailer, but it does. Okay, so you get the idea there. Diversify is the idea that don't want to be just Johnny One Note where you only use one kind of way to promote or way to advertise. If you pressed me, and you wouldn't even have to press me hard on this, I would tell you that the most results that you will get on the net, at least this has been my experience over 19 years, is using solo ad mailers. Without any doubt, nothing comes close, except if you're the kind of person that can do personal phone calls to your list members every day. Most of us can't do that, especially if you have a big list. So other than that, the next best thing is doing social ad mailings. Okay, reciprocity. It's a great word. We all have heard it. Give that you may receive, right? Reciprocity. You give something and you don't expect to get something back right away, but down the road, you may very well get something back. So, what does that have to do with marketing? You need to have something of value. If you want to get people on a list, which is, again, our main goal here is to get somebody on a list. You want to give them something because you are competing with so many people out there who also want to get people on a list. So you've got to have some really nifty things to give away. Now, one of the things, I'm just going to give you some ideas. It could be a free report that you write yourself. That's one thing you can give. I wrote a report called From Zero to Hero, um, written by me, as Phil wrote this in here. It says written by me, meaning me, Jane. I wrote it. And it's at $100 bill, and it's a way that we get people to sign up at one of our sites called $100 bill. And so you want to have something, no matter what you're promoting, you should be giving away something for free to get people on a list. And you can do that at $100 bill. Now, I want to talk to you about we just saw the two capture pages, right, that I showed you above. One at Profit from Free Ads, right? And one at Front Page Mail. I put this, if I am promoting Profit from Free Ads or Front Page Mail, I am going to say this in every single email that I send out about that site. I end it like this. Most of the time I end it. Sometimes I just do a short one and just do this, but it says, get your hands on our most responsive solo ad mailer. Sign up under my link today, and I will give you 70,000 free ad credits to get you started. And I put the value in 350. I say the same thing at Front Page Mail, but at Front Page Mail, I can give away 100,000 free ad credits with a value of $500. If I promote either one of these two sites, I always end with this kind of thing because maybe I'm trying to get people to sign up as a tycoon member at Profit from Free Ads, because that is without doubt the best founder membership that we have, in my opinion, because you can make the most money from it. So we want our people to make a lot of money. So the if I'm concentrating on one aspect of Profit from Free Ads, like a tycoon membership, and somebody is reading it and they say that's great, but I cannot afford that, or I'm not up to that yet in my online business, I don't want to lose them, right? So I end the email, even though I'm not particularly in that particular email that I'm sending out. I may not be interested in getting a lot of free members, but on the other hand, I don't want to waste my mailing. So I end my emails, and you guys should be doing this too. On any site where you have a capture page, you should be giving away something of value so that people want to leave their email and then, get on your list. It's very important. So giving away something of value is the easiest and quickest way to get signups and build a list. And whenever Phil and I design a site now, we really try to incorporate some sort of giveaway plus a capture page so that you guys, when whatever you're promoting your own sites, we know you're promoting your own sites, but people are always going to ask you, where can I advertise? And if you like our sites, get them on your list at our sites, because you can reach them by email. $100 bill has an admin mailer. We call it an admin mailer. It's in your members area. Front Page Mail has a mailer. All of our sites do. Our newer sites, Profit from Free Ads, Etsy, they all have ways for you to reach your signups. And that is the quickest and best way to build an enduring business online. Mind your manners. This is marketing rule 6 that we're up to. By the way, if you have any questions while I'm talking, shoot them to Phil in the chat box, and so he's in the chat box answering questions right now, so don't be shy. Anyway, mind your manners. I put this next line in caps because when you put a subject line in all caps, it is considered really very rude. It's considered screaming, and you just don't want to do it. I know it's very, um, you think about it, if I do it, people will really notice it. You know what I do when I see a subject line like that? It's considered screaming and very rude. I just I say, okay, I'm not dealing with somebody who really knows the rules of the road on the internet. And the problem with that is, I mean, I don't care one way or the other. In some ways, if I like what it says, I'll probably open it. But a lot of people won't. They'll just say, this person doesn't know what they're talking about. And it may not be true at all, and they may not really realize that this is considered very rude and it's considered screaming. Don't do it. Mind your manners. It's not necessary. You certainly can do upper and lower case, but don't put out a subject line like that, because it really marks you as non-professional, and you don't want that. And most of you who are on this webinar, I know, don't do it. So I'm probably lecturing to the choir here who knows very well not to do that. Okay, now, aside from that being rude, it's going to end you up in the spam box. And boy, I am seeing some of my best known, best friend marketers ending up in the spam box. And even I get my emails sometimes in the spam box, and then I want to crawl under the table and say, oh, what did I do? Phil and I spent a long time, like 3 or 4 months recently, going over and testing subject lines. And we put together, because it's not only the screaming and the caps that gets you into the spam box, it's also what you say in your subject line that can get you immediately into the spam box, even in Gmail. So the obvious words that you don't want to use in your subject lines are money, which we all want to use, but don't use it. Free, sales, profits, marketing. These are words that get you into the spam box almost 100% of the time. But there were other words that I didn't even know this. Phil had to show me this. Words like chance, amazing, home. Home business, I understand, can get you in the spam box, but home? I looked because we go and test these things. I said, oh my God, I didn't know that home could get you in the spam box. Lifetime, vacation, things you would never think of. So, what we did is put together a book called Email Swipes, which you can read about after the webinar, where you get over 100 lines that we've tested, and they're lines that you can rejigger kind of, and make them suit your own product. But it's really a good book that we worked hard on to test about 100. Is it 100 or more, Phil? Right in the emails. Yeah, it's over 100. But the other part of it is that in this book, we reveal where we go to get to test our email subject lines before we send them out. So you might want to take a look at this, because it's really profitable. And I go now almost every day, if I haven't used a subject line before and I think it's all right, I go and I test it before I send it out. Now, there's another way you can get this same thing. You can go to More Visitors Now, which actually has these subject lines in them, many of them, and it has a mailer, and you can just click a button, and the correct subject line will pop into your subject line, and you can change it, and you get the ebook free with it when you're a premium member of More Visitors Now. So I'm just putting that teaser in your mind now, because you can get the email swipes, you can get the subject lines, you can get the mailer and the place that we go to test all this stuff all in one shot by going to More Visitors Now. So You want to avoid the spam boxes because you're really not going to get it. If a lot of your emails go into spam, you're going to be the one screaming, I never get any result. It could be because either you're using screaming subject lines or more likely you're using words that you don't even know are triggering the spam buttons, the spam alarms, and put you into the spam box. So that's marketing rule 7. Minimize the risk. That's what I call marketing rule 7. Minimize the risk. You probably noticed, if you read any of my emails, that most of them, not all, but most of them contain not the actual link to whatever I'm promoting, but an Etsy link, which is like a bit.ly. It's a link shortener, but it's a lot better than most of the link shorteners out there. First of all, you can customize it. So you can say anything you want at the end of a Etsy link. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Just to promote this one webinar, I created 4 Etsy links. You know how long they take me? Take me 2 seconds. Oh, I pop in the real link. Like in this case, it's a long link, which you hate promoting anyway. You know, the webinar link from GoToMeeting or GoToWebinar, it goes on forever. So it looks terrible, doesn't wrap right. So I go over to Etsy link and I pop the long link in. I give it a name, which is going to show right here, Ask Jane and Phil, or You're Invited, or the number 1 marketing rule, which is the name of this webinar. Pedal to the Metal was one of the promotions I sent out about this. It literally, I mean, literally takes 2 seconds to do this. Pop the email in, give it a name, end of story. It generates a link. There you go. And there are really 2 reasons to do this. One is I mentioned is because you don't want to send out a long, ugly link. The more important reason is really that you want, let's say there people on our list, for example, who are promoting George Koch's site, World Profit, or Joel's site, now Lifestyles, or whatever site you're promoting. There's probably more than one of you, at least on one of our lists, that is promoting the same business opportunity. And that's true of almost all of the marketing lists online. So how do you get yours open? Somebody's reading the thing and they say, I think I'm part of that, or maybe that doesn't sound so good to me. Give it a really intriguing name. Just make up a name that makes people want to click your link as opposed to somebody else's link, which is a dead giveaway for the program that they're promoting. And you can send them either to a capture page that you make or directly to the site, but at least you get them to click on that link and open it. So I call that creating interest or mystery or whatever word you want to use, disguise, masking. But it does give you an advantage because your link will look nice. It will have an intriguing name that makes people want to open it because you made it up, and hopefully you'll give it an intriguing name. And it's when you have a lot of competition, this really helps you. Not only that, it has one of my favorite things in it. What is that? A solo ad mailer. You want to join Etsy link. You can join it free, but gang, don't bother because if you put the free ones are like the bit.ly links, which get banned all over the place because they have little numbers here, like 00031, which is really a number of an ad. And so they're recognized kind of as spam. They get into the spam boxes just as easily as anything else. If you're going to join Etsy link, join it, upgrade in it so that you can customize your links. That's the beauty of it. And of course, you can use the solo ad mailer and you get stats. So you'll know if your links are working or not. If you hear my pauses, it's because I'm drinking a lot of water. trying to avoid the flu, which is really hard at this time of year. Okay. Marketing rule 8. This is a good one for me. Slow down. People can't build a business instantly. It doesn't happen. I get letters all the time, from people. How come I'm not getting results? My building isn't building. When did you start? 2 days ago. I got a heartbreaking one really the other day from a woman said, I just had a baby. I really need money. I need it really right away. I would be dishonest if I said, "Oh well, just join this site of mine or anybody else's, and yeah, by tomorrow you'll have money in your pocket." That is BS. We all know that's BS. So you got to slow down. Building a business takes time. It just does. And you need to be able to invest some money in it, invest your time, and have realistic expectations. I mean, nobody would think that they could open a restaurant or a baby store for baby clothes, and instantly, with no advertising and no word of mouth and no business cards and no lights on and whatever, and build a business. It's not going to happen. Now, it's much easier to build a business online. It takes much less time and actually much less money than if you were going to open a bricks and mortar business. But it really, you've got to have a vision down the road of at least 18 months. And most business people think about growing their business over a period of 3 to 5 years. And if you're still in business after 5 years, it means you really have a business and not just a kind of, pick up a $10 bill here and there. So slow down, think about your business plan, which we're going to get to in a minute, and have some sort of future vision about what it takes to build a business online. Phil and I have been doing this for 19 years. And believe me, we were not instant successes. We figured out how to work at business and how to make them grow and stuff. But we didn't make money right away out of the block. We invested it. And it was all, you look at it, you say, oh, that's all going out. What's coming in? It will come in if you follow some of these rules we've been talking about today, which aren't really rules. They're just tips on how to build a business. You will build a business if you stick to it. So, slow down. And this is one of our mentors told us once that they send out emails every day of the week, and sometimes they can go for days without getting any result. Nothing seems to work, and you think, oh my God, what am I doing? And then all of a sudden orders come in because you hit the right list with the right thing at the right time. And it's something that your members wanted and needed and were intrigued by. So you can't give up, and you can't think that every day you're going to just rake in the dough. It doesn't happen that way. It really doesn't. You just got to build your business, and it's kind of, the slow and steady wins the race. Run the numbers. Not today, but I'm going to do a full webinar on this, running the numbers. I think this is so important. I mentioned, I think at the beginning, that I was in the real estate business for many years. I ran a big real estate firm in New York City. And you had to, if you wanted to get investors into your business, you had to run the numbers. In other words, you had to project over at least 5 years what you expected the income on a building to be. What were your expenses, insurance and repairs and oil and all the things. So I got very good at running the numbers, which is not really that complicated. You need to know what a building, or in this case, what a website can produce for you, and you estimate how many sales you can make, just like I had to estimate how many apartments I could rent or how many condos I could sell in a certain period of time, say a year. So In the marketing business, you really can run the numbers to see what you would expect to make in a month, let's say 1 month, and then you just duplicate that out by 12 months. Now, what is important in when you're promoting a site online, you want to make sure that you don't just promote items that sell for $10, because frankly, you got to sell a hell of a lot of $10 sales to make a living online. So you want to look for sites, and I'm just going to use one of ours as an example, where you can end up with a lot of money in your pocket. And I'm going to again talk about profit from free ads because it is one of my favorite sites. Our prices at that site range from $17 on the low end to $11.96 on the high end, and everywhere in between. And if you are a tycoon member of our site, meaning at the highest level, you make 50% of all of these sales. And I can tell you our two most popular levels are the tycoon level, where people come in at the 11.96. And by the way, I'm going to give you in a couple of minutes a way to get in at the tycoon price and profit from free ads at our pre-launch price, which is going to make your jaw drop because it's really a great way to get in here. But if you sell a, tycoon membership and you make 50% of it, which is going to be your commission if you're a tycoon member of profit from free ads, you're going to make half of that, over 100 and 500 and whatever it is, $40. So that's one heck of a nice payday, and you make a couple of those a month. Plus our second most popular one, I think, is what, level 4, Phil, which sells for, what is what's the one, level 3, I think it is. I don't have it in front of me right now, but I think it's for $131, and a lot of people buy in at that level. And so you're going to make half of that whenever they buy in, and everywhere in between. If they buy in at $17, you're going to make 850, and all of the other prices in between, because there are 7 levels and you get paid on all 7 levels. You want to promote sites. Now, there aren't a lot of sites that have all of these price points in it, but if you're promoting a site that you really love, that's a $10, $20, like that, $27 site, that's fine. But make sure you also include in your repertoire of sites some sites that let you that sell a high ticket item so that you can make a high commission on it, because it is just as hard to sell a $17 item as it is to sell an item for $11.96. It really is. You have to do the same kind of advertising, the same kind of promotion. There's no real difference. So sometimes our members that come in at the $17 level, which we only mean to be an entry level, and we want them to, as they feel more comfortable, to climb up the 7 ladders until they get to the top, because they only get paid on all levels when they are at the top. So if you come in at the $17 level, you're at a 10% commission, I think. Is it 10, P? On the $17. But anyway, I'm just giving you an example. So you make 10%, let's say, I think it's 20, but of $17. And suppose you sell a tycoon membership for $11.96. But what? 20%. I'm sorry. You make 20% on the $17. But then you only make the same 20% on $17 if you sell somebody the $11.96. So you still come out with the same $3.40. So you don't want to do that to yourself. You want to find sites where, if you put the investment in and you put the time and money to promote them, that at the end of the day, with a combination of sites and sales that you're going to put some real dough in your pocket. That's very important. And at some point, if you're interested, guys, I will do a real show you the numbers, how you run the numbers between your expenses of promoting sites and what you should spend on that and what your realistic estimates of income should be. It's really, I know it, a lot of people get bored by looking at numbers, but boy, are they important to your business. Love it or leave it. We're getting to the end almost. If you don't have a passion about your site, you are not going to be able to sell it effectively to anyone else. And I really mean this. If you, we started this webinar by saying the marketing rule number one is know your site, but it's not enough. It's absolutely necessary, but it is not sufficient. In addition to knowing your site inside and out, you must really like what you are doing, what you're selling, what you must believe in it. You really can't sell something to somebody else if you don't believe in it yourself. And besides which, you will hate getting up every morning to go to the computer if you don't really love your site. So, marketing rule number one, we know what that is. Know your site. And after we go through all the ways you have to get to building your business, in the very end, not only do you have to know it, but you have to love it. And if you don't find, there's lots of things you can market. Find something you love, something you are passionate about, because you will not sell it if you don't do it, and you will hate what you are doing, which I think is about the cruelest punishment anybody can have, is that they hate their job or they hate what they're doing online, whatever it is. You got to love it, or else find a way to leave it. It's not going to work. Now, I promised you that I would show. Oh, wait, here's the recap that we just went over. You can look at this at your leisure, I guess is the way, leisure is the way to say it. And those are what I consider the top 10 marketing rules, and they really are important for your business. Now, I promised you guys that if you came to this webinar and you're on the webinar, that we were going to do something special. So you'll see that it deals with profit from free ads, because it really is my favorite site. So I like to do things with that site. If you click on Get Instant Access now, you're going to find what we're talking about now, the highest level of profit from free ads, which is level 7, or becoming a tycoon. What we do with our founding members, and this is a founding member of Profit from Free Ads, we always give them, before we launch a site, we give them first crack to come in at a founding level, and we always give them a very good deal. I think some of you who have been in our launches who are here today, we give you a lower deal than anybody else gets when we launch. So on profit from free ads today, because I really want you to do what I was speaking about. I want you to have the ability to earn on 7 levels and to use. I'll just go over quickly what you get when you're a tycoon member. You get to send solo ads. I think our list is about, I know it's over 7,000 now. And it is one of the most responsive lists. We have lots of lists. Some of them are huge, like Free Ad Depot is 78,000 people on it, or 69,000, something like that. This guy has 7,000 members on it, and it's some of the best members on the net. It really is a responsive list, and you get to mail every 2 days to that list. You also got to get a downline mailer. Remember, I told you if you're going to promote it, get people in your downline. You can mail them every 2 days for life. And I mentioned that your email doesn't disappear once it goes out into the internet. It goes onto these ad profit pages and it stays there, sometimes getting you traffic, and it stays there for life. So it does get you traffic, but you can keep it alive for a lot longer than a regular email. Okay, we talked about the fact that you have to have something to give away. You can give away, as a Tycoon member, 70,000 credits to every single person who comes in under you. And you don't do a thing. Obviously, the script gives them the 70,000. So you promote it. Joe Jones signs up under you. They open their account. They start with 70,000 free advertising credits, which means they can put up banner ads and text ads. I think a couple each if they're free, or one each, Phil. I'm not sure what a free member does, but you are giving them the ability to use 70,000 free ad credits, which is a $350 value. You should tell everybody about profit from free ads by telling them, I will give you 70,000 free ad credits if you sign up under my link today. And it will just pop into their account. And it's really a nice gift. So, of course, what does that do? It builds your list, and you can email that list. Everything practically that I talked about today is all embodied in profit from free ads. You get the blog. We talked about the blog that is easy to use and gives you unique links, and it gets traffic to it just by being on profit from free ads. So that's a very valuable asset. You can promote any of your sites for as long as you want. You make 50% on every sale, which is why I said you could earn up to $584.50 per sale, because it's half of the $1169, which it sells for in the members area. And there's no limit on the sales. There are sites on the net where after you make 8 sales, they say, sorry, we're not going to pay you anymore. I never understood that. I think that's just terrible. If you make a sale, you're our partner, you get paid. End of story. That's how it should be. Now, this is very important because even though you're giving 70,000 ad credits to everyone who signs up under you, they do go fast because we get a lot of traffic to this site. So if the people will run out of credits, and either they'll have to buy them or earn them. You get 400,000 text ad credits and 400,000 banner ad credits every single month, which is a $2,000, 4,000 if you put the two of them. Every single month, they're just going to pop into your account, and you can assign them to whatever text or banner ad you want. And when you sign up, or upgrade, not sign up, when you upgrade at Profit from Free Ads to Tycoon, you get 130,000 ad credits split between the banners and the text ads. No, I'm sorry. You get 830 for text ads and banner ads. We just start you off with a whole lot of ad credits. So if you go to the front page of Profit from Free Ads, you're going to pay $9.97 for this, or you're going to pay in flex pays. And that's the one-time offer. If you go into the members area, you're going to pay $11.69 excuse me, for this offer. The people who launched with us, which was like 2 years ago, they came in at the price we're going to give you today. It's a one-time founder price of $7.97, or you can pay it off over 3 months, $2.75. Of all of the advertising sites on the net, I know it's very hard for me to just brag about it, but since Phil developed it, it's not really me bragging. It's Phil that did the great work. I just used the site. This is one of our best sites. And if you can swing it, I really want you to try to buy this. This is nowhere. You're not going to see this on the net. It's not on our one-time offer. Our one-time offer is right on our front page, and our members area is higher, $11.69. this is the price that we gave our other founding members in other sites, which, by the way, when you're a founding member of our sites, you do get first crack at getting into our sites, which means you have first crack at advertising them and promoting them. But we let you in early, and we always give you the best price we can. And it's a pre-launch price. And this is what it was on Profit from Free Ads. So that's the webinar. Um, I hope that you were asking Phil questions. Phil, did you get people's questions answered? If you have any other questions, we're here. We're happy to stay and answer them. And I hope you enjoyed this. It's a little different than the webinars that we generally do, but I wanted you to get an idea of what's involved in running a good business and what it takes to do it. So I hope you got that. And I'm so glad you joined us on a Saturday. I really appreciate it when you guys show up to a webinar, because it shows that you're the ones that are succeeding online, because you're learning your craft and you're always learning new things. I do the same thing, and it's important. So I'm going to say goodbye and end the webinar. Um, Pete, can you just close that thing for me? And thank you so much. I hope you all have a fabulous day. If you have any questions, just write us through support up in the right hand corner, Phil.